Cannabis Common Sense, the show that tells the truth about marijuana and the politics behind its prohibition.
Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of Cannabis Common Sense. We have a good show for you tonight. Right next to me is Carol Ortega from Colombia, you're also in Portland.
Hello,
Hello.
Everybody.
Welcome.
Thank you very much,
Hey, welcome.
Paul,
Welcome.
for inviting me to your show. I'm honored to be here tonight, sharing with all the American people news and basically all the efforts that we have done in Colombia in terms of legalization.
Great. Over in the wings, Mr. John Cornett is ready to play us a song.
Yes, I am, Paul. Yeah, we got one of our own down in Colombia, don't we? Clay, isn't he head back down there?
I think maybe.
Oh, never mind. Go ahead, Paul.
Thanks. We have some news for you tonight. We'll be taking your calls a little bit later and have a video clip. And stay tuned as we bring on, as we always do, our infamous dancing cannabis leaves.
I feel the force.
All right, our first story tonight is out of Charleston, West Virginia. West Virginia Governor Jim Justice has signed legislation, Senate Bill 386, establishing a limited medical cannabis distribution program. West Virginia is the 30th state to authorize by statute the physician's recommended use of cannabis or cannabis-infused products. The program, which will not be operational until at least July 1st of 2019, establishes regulations permitting the licensed production and distribution of cannabis-infused products such as oils, pills, and tinctures. Qualified patients are not permitted to either cultivate their own cannabis or to possess herbal preparations of the plant under this new law. Similarly, restrictive programs are presently in place in Minnesota and New York and are awaiting implementation in Louisiana, Pennsylvania, and Ohio. The law also imposes per se traffic safety limits, criminalizing the operation of a vehicle with trace amounts of THC in a patient's blood. We oppose such limits because the presence of THC is not a consistent indicator of either behavioral impairment or recent cannabis use. Also out of West Virginia, Governor Jim Justice has signed a bill expanding the availability of licenses for the state's hemp production, according to the West Virginia Register-Herald. The measure will allow the Commissioner of Agriculture of West Virginia to approve a license for any individual rather than just state colleges and universities, which had been the prior law. First-time license applicants will be required to submit their fingerprints and undergo state and federal background checks at their own expense. Individuals granted a license will be presumed to be growing industrial hemp for commercial purposes, according to the bill's text. Licenses will expire annually on December 31st. The measure passed unanimously in both the West Virginia House and Senate. Crescent Gallagher, Communications Director for the West Virginia Department of Agriculture, said industrial hemp could play a role in improving the state's economy. He said, quote, "The department is looking forward to working with individuals who are interested in growing industrial hemp. The hope is that hemp becomes a niche crop that helps grow our agricultural industries and spur economic growth to help diversify our economy," end quote. Only the West Virginia Agriculture Department and connected research programs were able to cultivate hemp previously. And then our next story is out of Colorado. The latest Colorado marijuana market report finds that retail and recreational licenses are increasing in number, while medical licenses are decreasing. Assistant Professor Paul Seaborn of the University of Denver's Daniel College of Business is the producer of the quarterly market report. He said, quote, "The total number of active marijuana business licenses issued by the Colorado Marijuana Enforcement Division is at an all-time record high, up 2,971 which is an increase of about 60 licenses since December 2016. He said, quote, 52.5% of active licenses are for medical marijuana businesses, down from 54.5% in December 2016. 47.5% are for recreational retail businesses, up from 45.5%, end quote. Retail dispensary cultivation manufacturing licenses have all increased in numbers since December 2016, the report finds, while medical centers cultivating and manufacturing licenses have all decreased. The Colorado Marijuana Market Report will be a quarterly publication by Seaborn and the business school there in Denver, analyzing the data from the Colorado Marijuana Enforcement Division and other sources. Down south, data compiled by economists at the University of California shows that reducing criminal penalties for marijuana offenses is associated with greater overall employment and higher wages. Researchers at the Economic Self-Sufficiency Research Policy Institute at the University of California at Irvine assessed the relationship between statewide marijuana decriminalization laws and labor outcomes. The report says that decriminalization is associated with increased probability of employment, particularly for young males, and an average increase of 4.5% in weekly earnings. The greatest average wage increase was experienced by African Americans. The study says, quote, this data provides suggestive evidence that marijuana decriminalization laws improve extrinsic labor market outcomes. This results in consistent with existing literature that suggests black adults, especially men, stand to benefit the most from removing these penalties, end quote. Out of Athens, Georgia, patients use fewer prescription drugs in states where access to medical cannabis is legally regulated, according to data published in the Journal of Health Affairs. Investigators at the University of Georgia assessed the association between medical cannabis regulations and the average number of prescriptions filled by Medicaid beneficiaries between the years 2007 and 2014. The researchers reported, quote, the use of prescription drugs in fee-for-service Medicaid was lower in states with medical marijuana laws than in states without such laws in 5 of the 9 broad clinical areas we studied. If all the states had had medical marijuana in 2014, we estimated the total savings for fee-for-service Medicaid could have been over $1 billion, end quote. The findings are similar to those previously published by the team, which reported in 2016 that medical cannabis access was associated with significantly reduced spending by patients on Medicare Part D approved prescription drugs. Hey, well, that explains why the pharmaceutical companies don't like it, doesn't it? Separate studies have reported that patients with legal access to medical marijuana reduce their intake of opioids, benzodiazepines, antidepressants, migraine-related medications, and sleep aids, among other substances. The full text of this study, medical marijuana laws may be associated with the decline in the number of prescriptions for Medicaid enrollees, appears in this month's journal, Health Affairs. That's the end of our hemp news segment for tonight, and now we'll jump over and Mr. John Cornett's ready to sing a song. Hey, John.
Yes, sir, I am. I'm proof. I'm living proof that cannabis works on even the most ridiculously hard cases. All my cousins and my brothers are dead. I'm 62. I should be dead, but because of cannabis, not only am I still alive, but I get to grow my own medicine and I get to do a lot of stuff. Anyway, this is a song about everyday people like us. We're just here doing what we can. Thank you, John Lennon, for this. Soon as you're born, they make you feel small, but giving you no time instead of it all, till the pain is so big you feel nothing at all. A working class hero is something to be. A working class hero is something to be. They hurt you at home and then they hit you at school. They hate you if you're clever and they despise the fool. so freaking crazy, you can't follow the rules. A working class hero is something to be. Working class hero is something to be. When they tortured and scared you for 20 odd years, and then they expect you to pick a career, you can barely function. You're so full of fear. A working class hero is something to be. A working class hero is something to be. Keep you doped on religion, sex and TV. Think you're so clever and classless and free. You're still freaking peasants as far as I can see. Working class hero is something to be. A working class hero is something to be. There's room at the top, they're telling you still. As long as you learn how to smile as you kill, you want to be like those folks on the hill. A working class hero is something to be. A working class hero is something to be. If you want to be a hero, just follow you. If you want to be a hero, just follow you.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
I like
Thank you,
that
John
little
Lennon.
twist on the last word there.
that?
I like that twist on the last word from Lennon's "me" to "you." I think that's the best thing. Hey, welcome again, Carol. This is
Thank you
Carol
again.
Ortega, and so last time I saw you, we were in Medellin,
In Medellin, Colombia.
Yeah,
in November
during
last
the
year.
Expo
Yeah, Expo Medeweed.
Medeweed.
Yeah,
where-
a great prayer, a great event.
It was.
in-
That was
in
was that the
Colombia.
first cannabis conference in the history of Colombia?
It was the first international cannabis conference in the history of legal cannabis in Colombia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I was
Yeah.
proud to participate in that. It was really a wonderful location. Medellin is so beautiful, you know.
Oh, it's
I
great.
love Hawaii
It's
and the
great.
tropical thing, and Colombia, which is your home, right?
Yeah,
It's
my
like a big
hometown.
Hawaii, you know,
A
only
big Hawaii.
like
That's pretty much,
1,000
yeah.
times bigger or something like that. I
Yeah,
don't
we
know.
we have been very grateful to be Colombians, and well, first of all, on behalf of Colombian people, I want to thank all the great Americans that have put efforts towards legalization here in U.S. because of you, we brought peace to my country. After 500,000 deaths.
Over
after
50 years, right?
over
53 years of war.
53 years of war.
And just while we were there in Colombia, that's when the law
The-
passed
the
through
law
the
passed,
legislature,
yes.
or the
Yes.
treaty, the peace treaty.
Yeah.
was,
So we finally reached peace
Yeah.
because of all the legalization efforts that you and a lot of activists, entrepreneurs, artists, and basically the general American people that have voted yes for legalization.
For our audience that doesn't understand the history in Colombia, do you want to explain the way that worked? There's a rebel group called the FARC,
The
and
FARC.
FARC is our abbreviation for the acronym, right?
Yes, for the acronym. Well, they were fighting for some political representation, basically, but also they were in charge of most of the cultivation of cannabis in Colombia, the major areas. So,
how many major cannabis cultivation areas are there? You know, I got the pleasure and to go into Toribio and
Toribio, Cauca, yes.
Toribio and the Cauca area. Is that the state of Cauca? Is that? What it
Yeah, it's state. In terms of U.S. division
like
of the state. It's like a state. Well, there's a lot of areas. Actually, I have some pictures that I brought with me.
Let's see if we can get those pictures to run. I know they're attempting to do that in the studio as we speak. And as soon as they pop up, we can comment on them individually.
Yes. Well, thank you again for bringing peace to my country, to all the great people that have voted for passing legislation in terms of legalization here in U.S. And if you go through the next one, here you can see the areas in Colombia where cannabis have been grown forever through our history.
What those are?
Well, I'm pretty sure that all of you remember our original land races.
Yeah,
Punto
you know, back
Rojo, Santa Marta Gold, and back in the day, right? In
back
the 70s,
when I was a teenager, I smoked and sold Colombian marijuana back in the 70s.
Yep.
And it was the best on the market then. So it was kind of a childhood dream to go back to, you know,
hopefully
to see
someday,
these areas.
You know, that's my dream. I think that I will sleep more peaceful the day that we can ship marijuana from Colombia to the world.
That would be a wonderful thing.
In a legal way, without the violence and all the suffering that have been done.
Let's
in
go
Colombia
back to that
because
one
of
picture that we had there just a second ago. There it is.
Yeah, so you can see all the areas in Colombia where cannabis have been grown, mostly.
Punto Rojo.
Punto Rojo. Santa Marta Gold. Which is the blue one.
That's out on the coast.
That's on the coast.
It's hotter there.
It's super hot.
Where I was at in Medellin and Bogota was cold actually.
Yeah.
And Cali.
And Cali is hot.
That's near the Cauca area.
Yeah,
right?
Cali it's where you can see, if we go back again to the picture, the green mango iche one.
Yeah.
The green one, that's Cali, Toribio, Cauca. Corinto, and some areas that grows cannabis in Colombia. And those are the areas where mostly you can see cannabis being grown. And now actually Bogota, people are starting.
It's so crowded in Bogota.
And,
How many people?
and
There's
naturally
like 10
grown.
million people
8
in
million
Bogota?
people.
8
Around
million
8 million people. It's a huge city. It's like
in a
almost
big
like New
valley.
York.
So
like New York
Bogota
type of
is
city.
about at 8,000 feet in elevation.
8,600 feet in elevation.
And then the mountains up above it, where what is that church up on the top?
Monserrate.
That's like another 1,000 meters higher or something like that, right?
Yes, so I think that all these difference in land and climate and altitude make this variety of cannabis unique.
It's kind of like the coffee grown in Colombia.
Exactly.
So
it's a perfect comparison. It's another psychotropic product from Colombia.
In going on that tour there in the Cauca and Toribio, if I said that right, or Toribio.
Perfect pronunciation.
Hey, all right. I saw cannabis, coffee, and coca in some fields growing together, side by side.
Growing
I have
together.
some photos of that.
That's right. And some other fields where we grow amapola as well, right? The flower of amapola where heroin is extracted.
Yeah. And up at the Maserat Cathedral on the mountaintop above Columbia, they were selling little keychains that had coca leaves, marijuana leaves, coffee beans.
Hopefully, that's another dream of mine, and a lot of people actually in Colombia. Hopefully someday we are going to have an alternative market for coca. There's a lot of.
And you're not talking about cocaine. You're talking about coca
leaf. The coca leaf.
And that's a lot different then.
It's totally different. I was explaining before here to some folks that in order to make cocaine, you have to put ether gasoline,
Yeah.
and a lot of chemicals on
Yeah.
on the
To pure it
leaves.
out. And they don't
to-
have any government regulators checking it to make
No.
sure they got all the kerosene or petrochemicals or
Nope.
ether out.
So for all the Americans that likes cocaine, well, my friends, you are snoring gasoline, ether, and a lot of who knows.
Yeah.
Actually,
Well,
who
I think
knows?
regulation is the answer for
Yeah,
every market. Whether
and
it's,
an alternative use, you
Yeah.
know, like
and it's
when
kind
I
of the
was-
difference between cocaine is like heroin
Yep.
and coca leaves are like poppy flowers, you know?
Yeah, it's a plant.
Yeah.
It's a plant, and it has tremendous
I
benefits
found
and
coca
vitamins
leaves
and protein.
in all sorts of different places in terms of tea bags, just like,
Tea
you know,
bags,
regular tea and
yeah.
I think some of the
Energy
active ingredients-
drinks.
Yeah,
There's
drinks.
a great energy drink product made in Colombia from coca leaves. There's
Well, you know, Coca-Cola, of course, had coca leaves and the
At the
cola nut.
beginning,
I have an ad from the Scientific American from back about 110 years ago that advertised Coca-Cola in Scientific American. And they talked about how we've taken the cocaine from the coca leaf from Colombia and the cola nut from Africa and put them together for a new
And
energy
that's-
drink that makes you concentrate and makes you more productive and, you know, those kinds
well,
of things.
and certainly it does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
And
not,
it helps
not
with-
Coca-Cola now.
Coca
but-
leaves help with
but back in
altitude
the day-
sickness. So if you're prone to altitude sickness, which fortunately I'm not, then just chewing a couple little coca leaves won't get you high at all. But
No,
it will
no.
ward off the nausea and effects associated with altitude sickness.
Yeah. Yes, of course. That's the best way to.
Do you
go
have
to-
more pictures?
I have a lot of pictures.
Let's go to the next frame
Yeah.
here.
The next picture, this picture, I love this picture because it frames perfectly the farmer of Colombia. This is a woman trimming marijuana, a farmer in Toribio, and his family. It's interesting to see the access that they have to the internet and technology there, like everywhere else in the world. So they know what's going on, right? They are seeing the advantage of legalization worldwide, and of course they are waiting for being inclusive and being included within the legal industry. The next one,
Let's go to the next.
it's another trimming.
That looks like where I was at.
Yeah, Toribio, Cauca. So you can see this population are vulnerable vulnerable populations of Colombia, where unfortunately poverty it's a major
Now,
issue there.
Colombian cannabis is incredibly cheap.
Yeah.
Was what it's like a kilo of regular cannabis. What's the price range for a kilo or 2.2 pounds?
Well, it depends. But
I heard as low as like $5 or $10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually you can grow a pretty good quality of cannabis at about 5 cents a gram.
5 cents a gram.
5
right.
cents a gram. So it's cheap because
There
once
are
again,
new seeds and genetics coming in from Spain, and they're
from-
increasing the quality and more indica strains,
more
not the old
indica, not only
land.
sativas,
Yeah,
more
not-
indica
not the
and
old
more
land races.
high CBD strains as well.
Yeah.
That's key in order
Yeah.
to produce medical achievements. No?
You know, we'll come back to some more pictures in just a second, but we take viewers' phone calls, and if someone has a question or comment, they can call us at that number there on your screen. It's 503-288-4442. That's 503-288-4442. And we have a caller standing by. Welcome to the show, caller.
Hello. Yeah, I was calling because I want to find out more about cannabis stock, like to buy, purchase shares, if that's going on the market. I know it has been for several years, but I was just kind of wanting your thoughts on that.
I would be very careful right now because there are a lot of scammers out there. And in fact, I got scammed by some Canadian scammers. Not that all the Canadian people are bad, but you've got to be very careful in investing, and don't invest anything that you're not prepared to lose.
Right. So would you suggest going to an actual stock thing? Because what I've been finding most lately is this stuff I've been looking on, like at the internet and stuff.
I can't recommend the specific stock at this point. Like I said, it is a volatile market, and there's a lot of what they call pump and dumps, where the people come in and pump up the value of their stock and then let it drop down, and they're really out just to rip off the stock buyers out there. So you got to be very careful of that.
Okay, that's not like the penny stocks then, right?
Yeah, that's penny stocks. Yeah, that's exactly like
Okay.
those.
All right. Darn it.
There've been a lot of
All right.
people that have lost money because of that.
Yeah, I've been finding that out, but it's been going on for several years. But because it's so out there now, I'm
It's not just
thinking
marijuana,
maybe more
it's
will be coming.
lots of things.
Yeah.
It's a common thing in the penny stock market, unfortunately. And I got taken by some sharks myself that stole our clinic, Empower Healthcare Clinics, over there at 18th. So now I am recommending no one go to Empower Healthcare Clinics because they are dishonest, and I would recommend any place else.
Okay, a power spinning.
Yeah, if you need a medical recommendation, the people who have stolen that are very dishonest.
And that's over on the 17th, 18th
Yeah,
Street right there?
exactly,
Oh,
exactly. Now
'cause that's
we
where I
have
go to.
we have a
That's where I went
physician referral service. If you're interested, you can call our physician referral service at 503-235-4606. That's 503-235-4606. It's that number that just popped up there on your screen. And so last week, in fact, these Canadians, or maybe a couple weeks ago, contacted this cable access studio and are trying to get this television show taken off the air. They don't want me telling you this. They want to sue me and sue Portland Cable Access because I'm telling the truth about what they did. And so they're trying to
Oh my
manipulate.
gosh, you've been around forever. They better not try to take you off, no.
Well, they're trying to. We've been on the air 21 years here on Portland Cable, and I think it's fair to say that during almost all that time, we've been the most popular show on cable access here in the Portland area. In fact, at one time, we were the top TiVo show for cannabis or marijuana in the world. But they have actually threatened to sue Portland Cable Access, the folks at Empower Healthcare, and they come in and taken over my companies, and they actually claim they own the name, the Hemp and Cannabis Foundation. They're trying to steal our websites too. They have sent letters and they're trying to get court orders to take our websites for hemp news, for the Hemp Stock Festival, for THCF and the Hemp and Cannabis Foundation, and our political committee, Campaign for the Restoration and Regulation of Hemp. So this is just an example of these dishonest stock swindlers.
Oh my gosh, that's hard. Greed. No.
Yeah, it makes me mad. Well, anyway, for more information, or if you're looking for a doctor, we have a physician referral service. You can call us at that number there on your screen. It's 503-235-4606.
Great. Thank you much, Lee. Peace out.
Thank you. And we have another caller. Welcome to the show, caller. Hello, caller.
Hello. How are you, Mr. Stanford?
Hey, I'm hanging in here. How are you?
Good. I was just listening to a few of your topics this evening, and my name is Thomas. I represent Top Grade Medical.
Welcome to the show, Thomas.
Thank you very much. And I kind of want to elaborate a little bit on the lack of integrity from the Canadian northern part per what you've elaborated on trying to steal the websites and your domains.
Our email addresses for 25 years. They want to take over everything. They actually also claim they own my name, Paul Stanford.
Oh my God.
They claim they own my name, and in their court documents, they claim that they own paulstanford.com, paulstanford.info, dpaulstanford.org, in addition to thc-foundation.org, crrh.org. I've had that website since 1991. And, that was our organization that put Measure 80 on the ballot. And I've been using my email there, stanford@crrh.org, since 1990, They claim they
Yes,
own that now.
I'm aware of
And,
who
you know,
you are.
they didn't pay us a
I've
penny.
been farming
Let
since
me just say
1983.
one more thing. They claim that they bought it, but they never paid us a penny. They claim the money they bought it with is the money they paid themselves. So they paid themselves this money, and that's how they bought it. It's really unbelievable. And the thing is, they've hired such a high-powered firm, this Markowitz and Herbold, and the judges just, it's like we're not there. It's like they just, anything they say, it's like that's gold to the judges. So, of course, I'm going to rely on a jury when it comes time to trial. But I am locked in an epic legal battle with these Canadians who've stolen Empower Healthcare, the hemp and cannabis company, and are trying to steal our foundation name and websites. It's really almost unbelievable. And they claim they've paid me money, and they haven't paid me a penny, not 1 cent. But they claim that other things they paid themselves, or that's how they paid for the company. It's really
Well, you know, they're going to have to, in litigation, they're going to have to produce invoices and proof.
Well, they
along
produce
with
invoices of how they paid themselves.
So,
you know, they actually charged me
don't think you have
$5,000 a month to do this to me. They charged me, I had to pay them $5,000 a month, and then they came in and fired me. It's really unbelievable. They lied about the stock, too. They claimed that my employees and myself would have 55% of the stock, but now I think they say I have less than 10% or something like that. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, they say that in all of their documents and emails, it said we were going to have 55% of the stock and 5% for most employees, 5% for my partner, William Appel, and 45% for me, a total of 55%. And they claimed that now they say we never had 50%, but all their other emails say they didn't. And the judges don't hear us say that. They just rule against us.
Well, you know, I got one thing to ask. Where's Casper? He's a normal guest.
Casper is usually, co-host on the show. He has his dogs have had surgery, and he's back at home taking care of his dogs last week and this week. Also, Casper made a joke several weeks ago, and the Canadians have taken his joke and twisted it in their attempt to take us off the air. They've taken his joke and reported it to the police like it's something real. Like he made, and I told him when he made this joke that he shouldn't say that. But that's the way these guys will twist anything to their advantage and lie about everything. Their lawyer, this guy Jeff Edelson and Molly Honore, and the law firm Markowitz Herbold, they're very famous for being litigious, and they represented Oregon in the health plan thing and in the Oregon Oracle. They make millions of dollars, and they have said, that so far they spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to steal this from me.
Yeah, well, whether their facts are relevant, which I don't think they are, I want to give big waves to Casper.
I think he'll be back next week. We'll see.
That's great, and big smiles as well.
Thank you. I appreciate it, sir. Thanks for calling.
Yes, and I'm not done. Excuse me, Mr. Stanford. I realize the battle that you're going through right now. I understand that in this industry right now, we face just an unparalleled level of corrupt and unethical individuals in the industry.
Yeah.
I mean, I've experienced it myself, not on your level, but I do know that, to win this battle, we've got to come together as Oregonians, let alone, the cannabis community, which we represent. And basically show these people, no, we're not just going to get rolled over on with no facts and appointed authorities, and because you have big money doesn't mean that you're just going to come in here like the tobacco industry, so to speak, per se. Not that I'm implementing they are.
Well, the weird thing about this is, here's our flame of freedom right here. And we've been talking about how cannabis can completely replace petroleum on just 10% of the world's land used for agriculture today. If we switched over to hemp farming, we'd wipe out deforestation, we'd wipe out world hunger with hemp seeds after we press the oil out, and we completely replace all petrochemicals with hemp seed oil. As you can see, this hemp seed oil is burning on a hemp wick right here, and I've been saying for a long time that it's the petrochemical, pharmaceutical, military, industrial, transnational, corporate, elite, fascist sons of a bitches that have given us marijuana prohibition. And so it's more than ironic that once these people came in and made this deal where they made a political contribution and said that was their investment and took over my company, then they switched it to be an Israeli-Canadian oil company that's tied to an Israeli pharmaceutical company. So the petrochemical pharmaceutical sons of a bitches are taking it out on me. They don't like me talking about hemp seed oil. They don't want to end their petrochemical pharmaceutical gravy train.
They don't want the truth revealed.
Right. And now they're trying to take this show off the air. So I urge every one of our viewers out there to call Portland Community Media, or it's now called Open Signal Portland, and tell them that you support this show and that don't let this Canadian Israeli oil company take us off the air with lies and deceit.
What is that number, Paul?
I can't give you the number for Portland Community Access right this second. We'll probably have it up in just a second. But
excellent.
Literally, these Canadians are threatening the management here at Portland Community Media to, telling them that they should take us off the air.
Well, you know what? They can threaten or schmetten. A lot of people do that stuff, right?
Yeah.
But knowing your
these guys
integrity
follow it up with lawsuits.
Your honesty and what you stand for, a lot of times that prevails.
Yeah. Well, I wish the judges knew that.
Bar none. Bar none.
I wish the judges in this county knew, and in this area knew that, because I've
I know judges and their parents.
Cleaners.
So what? I'm kind of interested in maybe.
Well, I'll tell you what. Call our number at 503-235-4606 and leave a message. I'll call you back and we can talk about it in private. But we do have some other callers, I believe, and Carol's got some more things to say about Columbia too.
Thanks a lot, and thank you, Carol, for filling in as well. I appreciate your input as well.
Thanks for calling.
You have a great evening, folks.
Okay.
You too.
Good night.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. We have another caller. Let's go ahead and take that call too. Welcome to the show, caller.
Hey, thanks again for another wonderful show. You know, and we're listening to you talk about this, how it just turns my stomach. And yet, you know, this is expected. You know that these people would be coming after you because of your significance, not just in Oregon, not just in the United States, but internationally. The thing that I wanted to say, just a statement, I am totally and completely, utterly disgusted by our Oregon legal system. I am disgusted by what the court is doing to you.
Well, those with the most money usually win in court, and that's what they're counting on, that they can just bowl me over by spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on attorneys. Literally, my one single attorney, a longtime eviction lawyer, she is outgunned with 4 attorneys, and they even have 3 paralegals setting up audiovisual equipment and running documents back and forth from their office when we go into court against them. So it's really kind of a nightmare, but I appreciate your support. I will never surrender, and they think that somehow they will stop me. And even if they do take our websites and they do take our show off the air, in the end, I will prevail.
The number for Portland, for Open Signal, Portland Community Media is 503-288-1515.
288-1515.
Yep, that's the number. Everybody call Portland Community Media, Open Signal.
Thank you. Yeah, give them a call and tell them you support Cannabis Common Sense and you're astounded, as I am, by this incredible attack on our free speech rights.
That's right. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Carol, back to Columbia. Sorry, I got a rant and rave, unfortunately.
I'm sorry to hear about this unethical behavior within the industry. And now that I'm about to launch my venture capital firm,
Tell us about launching your venture capital firm here in Portland.
Here in Portland,
What's
here,
it
here
called?
in US, it's called Muisca Capital Group. Muisca, it's
How do you spell that?
indigenous Muisca, Muisca.
Okay.
It's one of the four major Indian civilizations, indigenous civilizations of Latin America, with Inca, Maya, Azteca, and Muisca. Muisca
Okay.
from Colombia, so that's why the origins of our name.
I see.
And very differently from these folks in Canada, we are a very high social responsibility organization with strong ethics and integrity, looking towards helping the Latino entrepreneurship in cannabis. As you might know, last year, for example, I was reading yesterday this news, and it devastates me. And last year, the vast majority of federal sentences for marijuana cannabis went to the Hispanic population.
Yeah.
77%.
In the United States
In
federal.
the United States,
77% of federal marijuana
of
cases
federal
are against
sentences
people of
against
Latin
people and against
American
Latin
and,
Americans, against Hispanic.
And
we are a population of 20%.
right.
So
That's very much
something's
out of
wrong,
balance.
right?
Yeah.
Something's wrong, and I think that entrepreneurship is that fuel that keeps moving legalization towards.
Yeah.
And it's about time for Latinos to be part of the legal industry.
The whole basis of marijuana prohibition to start with was based on anti-Hispanic racism.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at the name marijuana. It
Yeah,
came
right?
from
Exactly.
the Mexican Revolutionary War song by Pancho Villa's troops, La
Yes.
Cucaracha.
Yes.
In that song, they mention marijuana as something the Mexican revolutionaries used, and soon thereafter, the first anti-marijuana laws were passed in the state of Texas.
Exactly.
And then they spread to California, and then the federal government implemented it in
Yes.
1912. Now, if they'd said hemp, they never would have been able to criminalize it. But because they said it was marijuana, they
there
tainted
you got
it with that racism that was so prevalent back in the
Exactly.
30s and 20s when those laws were passed.
Yes, exactly. So now that this emerging industry is finally taking place here in U.S., I think I'm convinced that we all have a moral responsibility with the Latino community. And thank you for bringing me here, for example, and supporting the Latino entrepreneurship in the legal cannabis industry.
So if someone wants to contact your firm, do you have a website?
A website,
What
yes.
is that website?
www.muiscacapital.com.
And again,
Muisca is
Muisca.
M-U-I-S-C-A. I
Dot
think that I
com?
have .com.
Okay.
Yeah. M-U-I-S-C-A.
.com.
Capital.com.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
capital,
Capital.
after that.
Capital after that.
C-A-P-I-T-A-L.
Yes, thank you so much.
Sure.
And I
There's
think
another
that
picture of trimmers at work.
trimmers in Colombia, trimming sativas, I guess.
I noticed they keep it bagged in orange bags. And there's an orange container too. I mean,
Yeah.
I noticed
There's
that.
still, I have to say that there's still some education towards trimming and curing cannabis in
Yeah.
Colombia. And
Well, you know, it's so moist there. You know, one thing I noticed is because Colombia is at the equator, you have 12-hour days and 12-hour nights.
Yep.
So all of the varieties that we grow and these new hybrid strains coming in from Europe and America, they bud at 12 hours immediately.
Wow.
And so in Colombia, you see at night all these fields and mountainsides, some of them almost vertical, lit up with lights. And those lights aren't to flower the plants, they're to stop the plants from flowering. And once they turn the lights off, then they're on a 12-hour cycle and they all bud then. So they put lights up so they'll vegetate and get bigger,
Yeah.
and then they turn the lights off and everything flowers.
Yes, we have been creating and
All-
evolving our system of cultivation
Yeah,
with the new strains available. Yeah.
that's exciting. It was
Very
neat seeing
exciting.
all those mountainsides lit up at night, you know, all over the country.
Yeah.
There's another picture.
Another picture of a field in Colombia. There's another. We can go to the next picture. These are indigenous groups. They have kept our seeds, our native seeds. They literally have saving our seeds with their lives. So this is picture is to honor those efforts and to keep our land races and our original and native seeds in place and alive. We can go to the next one.
Picture.
This is
Oro.
Yeah.
Cannabis gold.
yeah,
That's what I used to sell when I
cannabis
was a
gold.
teenager.
Yeah, this is a memory from the 70s.
Yeah. Next picture.
Yeah, this is
Oh.
now how we have been evolving in terms of research.
You're going- and there's those lights.
Into the medical. Yes.
You're in a greenhouse there, and they have those
Yes.
little inexpensive fluorescent, compact fluorescent bulbs that provide just enough light to stop them from flowering.
Yeah, making research in terms of the medical benefits of our great plant and flowers.
And the next photo.
This is an organization. Well, I don't know if you guys can see well all the pictures of the kids.
Yeah, it's bigger
Yeah.
on their screen at home.
Yeah.
Everybody's got big screens these
Okay.
days. You know.
There's a lot of efforts in a lot of nonprofits in Colombia curing epilepsy.
Yeah.
Literally
Yeah. All over the
our
world.
kids. Yeah, all over the world. And in Colombia, there's thousands of patients already having used cannabis.
Let's look at one more picture here.
More kids that have benefit from the plant.
We'll come back to some more pictures in just a second. Let's go ahead and take our next phone call. I guess maybe we have Casper on the phone. Welcome to the show, Casper.
Well, happy Friday. How you doing there, Paul?
Hey, we're hanging in there. How are your dogs?
My dog is doing fine. Her stitches come out of her head on Monday night.
All right. Well, where you can hear, you've got some fans out there that want to see you back.
Oh, really? I didn't know anybody even missed me.
We miss you.
Yeah, so you want me to come back and be that loose cannon?
Well, we just got to be careful about some of your jokes here, Casper, because apparently, as you know, some of these lawyers don't take or try to find offense in anything. And I thought it was a little edgy joke I told you at the time, but anyway.
Well, I'll tell you this, they're doing the same thing to a lot of the commentators and a lot of the network, a lot of the people, whether they're left wing or right wing. If they don't like what you're saying, they'll make a mountain out of a molehill. They'll deliberately take a comment and they'll twist it into something that they know for a fact not it, just so they can try to get you and your message kicked off the air.
Yeah.
And well, it's nice to know that you all still support me and still appreciate my talents there on your team. And it is an honor to be part of your amazing team. And
is there anything you'd like to tell our audience? You'll be back next week?
To it, I certainly would like to continue to be part of the shenanigans that goes on every Friday night.
Anything you want to tell those Canadians out there, the Canadian swindlers that have taken over my old business in Power Healthcare? I feel sorry for the employees that they haven't fired yet. They fired most of them.
Well, let me say what I can legally say. I hope their bowels back up and they have constipation for a year.
All right. All right. Well, thank you, Casper. Hopefully we'll see you back here next week or the week thereafter, whenever you feel up to it.
It'll be next Friday night then. If you all want me back, I'll be back next Friday night.
Okay. We'll see you.
I love you all. Take care.
All right. Thanks
Thank
for calling.
you.
We have another caller. Welcome to the show, caller.
Hi, I just wanted to comment. I'm essentially sick of all the alcohol advertising. You know, like we have this whole alcoholic culture, and I think it'd be so much better if it was allowed, you know, to advertise cannabis, you know, cannabis shops and the whole healthy alternative. You know, it's all suppressed, you know, the way it is, and I think it really sucks, you know.
Yeah, I agree. You know, and that's one thing they see with more marijuana use. There are less alcohol road deaths, and that's another thing. Some of the alcohol companies have been funding these anti-marijuana campaigns as well.
Right,
and
right.
The pharmaceutical companies and the petrochemical companies because of their own economic interest.
Right. Well, thanks for your show. I appreciate it.
All right, thanks. Thanks
Okay,
for watching.
Bye.
So let's go back to some more of your pictures here. We got
More
about
of
7
our
minutes
pictures.
left to go.
Okay,
So
we can
next
go to
picture.
the next one. This was in Spain.
Oh,
some
there
of some entrepreneurs in Colombia, including me.
yeah, there's Henry from
leading
Expo MediWeed.
leading the way in Latin America. We were the only Latinos present at the conference.
So that was at Cannabis?
Cannabis, and we were invited to the ArcView event. Where,
all right.
Yeah,
ArcView
yeah.
did an event. I didn't know about that.
Thank you, Steve D'Angelo, for all your support to the Latin American entrepreneurship.
You have another photo?
Yes, I have more pictures. This is a photo of one of the cups in Colombia.
So that's what you win if you...
Yeah.
I got to judge a cup there in Bogota.
In Bogota. This one, it was in Medellin.
Copa del Rey or Copa
Copa
de Kings.
del Rey.
That was great. I got to try 30 kinds of Colombian cannabis.
It was great. Yes,
It
I
was
was there
great.
too.
I had a lot of
Excellent.
fun.
Yeah, we have 3 cups. One in Medellin called El Copo, one in Canada, one in Cali called Farallones, another one in Bogota called Copa del Rey.
So the next photo.
one.
Next photo. Oh, maybe
That's
they
me.
don't have any more photos. Okay.
All right.
So again, if they want to reach out to your oh, there's
yeah,
another
more
photo.
pictures, and we can entrepreneurs in Colombia, activists. We can go to the next one.
Next photo. Let's
Next
just go
photo.
through them.
Because
we're down to about 5 minutes
they
here.
They are my
Less
team.
than that.
I happen to found a non-profit organization in Colombia, and we are reaching rural, small towns in Colombia in terms of education and workshops. More entrepreneurs in Colombia making this happen. More entrepreneurs. The artist hip hop regarding cannabis taking the streets of Bogota, literally with art and creating culture. That's me and Pilar, another great entrepreneur from Colombia. Mujeres Canábicas Colombia.
There's Elvie Masica.
Elvie-
I took
Elvie
Elvie
Masica.
down there. It was such
Yeah,
an
it was
honor
great.
to take
It was
Elvie.
great.
No one knew who she was before her. I
Yes.
took her. Everyone's, well, you're going to bring her. We don't know. We don't want to. Once they found out who
Elvie.
she was, and it's, oh, wow. You know, it was an
Yeah.
honor to take Elvie back to Belgrande, a town she'd been at when she was Buga Belgrande, and around the Cali
was
area
great.
where Elvie had grown up until she was about 20.
Yes, we
And
can
it was
go
her
to the
first
next
time
picture.
back in 50 years to go back
We
to
can
her
go-
home.
Okay, so
There's-
that's our organization where investments in Latino legal cannabis take place.
Uh-huh.
All are welcome.
Uh-huh.
Investors are always welcome, of course.
And so it's
entrepreneurs are welcome.
musicacapital.com.
Yeah, muiscacapital.com.
Is there any more photos?
I have some more, yeah.
Let's see.
I think we can go
Well,
to
we're
the
down-
next one.
there's one
This
more.
is the non-profit organization that I have found in Colombia, and where I'm the major donor. And this is 100% Colombian cannabis, a brand managed by that organization, but that non-profit, where our efforts are in terms of building the name of Colombia cannabis to the world. Another part of our portfolio
How do you say that?
organization, Cana Farm.
Okay,
Cana Farm.
different spelling.
Cana, it's an interesting word because that word means medicinal plants in Quechua language.
Oh, okay.
And Cannabis Latino. Cannabis Latino is going to be an application. We are Latin American entrepreneurs innovating in venture capital, innovating in tech, and innovating in the cannabis industry.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's what we got there for now.
Thank
We're
you
down to
so
less
much.
than 3 minutes. Once again, is there anything you want to say in closing?
I want to thank all Americans that have voted towards legalization of cannabis once again, because once again you have made possible peace in my country, and I think that's huge.
And if somebody wants to reach your new capital group again, I'm going to mispronounce it again. Musica.
Muisca.
Muisca.
Thank you.
Muisca Capital. MUISCA.
Thank you.
CAPITAL.com.
Yes, .com.
And if you want to reach
go,
us,
just go through our website, and there's a contact page where you can send us a message and contact us.
And if you are looking for a doctor, we know doctors all over the country and the world, really, that can help you get medical marijuana. We have a physician referral service, so call us at 503-235-4606. That's 503-235-4606. And if you are outside the Portland area, we have a toll-free number. It's 888-499-THCF. That's 888-499-8423. If you're outside the Portland area, call that number. If you're in the Portland area, call us at 503-235-4606. I want to thank you again, Carol, for coming on. My pleasure. It's really an honor.
And for all the accomplishments that you have done and all the efforts. And
the best is yet to come.
Oh, yeah.
That's
definitely,
what we know.
Definitely.
We're only starting to take off here. This is an infant
the
industry.
whole Latino entrepreneurship in cannabis support your cause.
I know. Thank you. And when we replace petroleum with hemp seed oil, our work will be near its completion. We'll save what's left of our most precious heritage, our biosphere. We're going to go out on another song by Mr. John Cornett. Thank you, John. Thank you, Carol. Help us restore hemp. Good night.
Well, 1,000 years she's healed our lives. For 1,000 more she will brave the fight. She's my Joan of Arc, reaches through the flames, says, come to me, I can heal your pain. She's my Mary Jane.